when Cole & Son came to us, they were looking for an incredible new website. They have huge ambitions. They knew they wanted to go international, into lots of different markets. They knew they wanted to increase their market penetration by ranking more highly in Google. And they needed to go headless with Shopify. They had been on Shopify for a year or so. And what they needed to do was, in order to grow, they had all these SEO challenges with Shopify, and they recognized they needed to go headless in order to resolve these challenges. So this project was really a culmination of amazing design, really doubling down on producing something that their clients are going to love and resonate with and really transact through, launching this internationally, and across all of those international territories, actually ranking much more highly, especially in territories, for example, the UK and the US, where they already had an established footprint, but also across all sorts of parts of Europe and Asia and Australia. So this was a tremendous project, bringing together Headless, Shopify, WordPress, e-commerce best practices, and incredible design. So for me, this was a huge success, and the results are just phenomenal. The results for us, when you come in and you look at, for example, we use Moz to track our before and after. And just the results are incredible. So we started tracking them actually about a year before they started working with us. And then around here, they went from an old system to Shopify. And then they were on Shopify for quite a long time, using Shopify as a standard theme. And Shopify has a number of key challenges. So for example, you can't optimize the URL back to the root. You have to be within their kind of URL structure, which involves things like, products and pages and collections, which are all hard bound into Shopify's URL. So they didn't have the dexterity over that, which was super important. Another challenge with Shopify is that you can't actually, on a category page, if we were to go to a category page now, like animals or something, one of the things you can't do on Shopify directly, so aside from having /collections, which is obviously no longer here, is that on the category pages, you don't have the option to actually optimize those category pages with in-page content in the same way, which is another real challenge. So what we wanted to do is, go headless for those reasons, but also for reasons like the way in which we were going to deliver the way you buy wallpaper. So one of those challenges is you buy it by the roll, but in order to know the number of products you need to buy, you need to understand the surface area of the wall, but also the drop height length. So if your wall is higher, then obviously you get fewer drops out of each roll, but also the pattern repeat per design changes as well. So there's some real complexities in how that has to come together to really work. So you have to know all of these factors in order to be able to, actually calculate how many rolls you need and how that's going to work. So we built a calculator in here as well as part of the headless solution, and that feeds into the data from the products about the pattern repeat, the drop length on the roll. So all of these factors are making the purchasing easier for the customer. But just coming back to those SEO results, because, as I was saying, they went from, it was actually BigCommerce and Drupal, and they went from that to Shopify on a theme. So all their products were already in Shopify, all their meta fields were in Shopify, and that was great. But as you can see here, there's 953% increase in market penetration, which is amazing. And from going headless, you can see this upgoing trend of their increased rankings in Google. So in this chart, each bar represents a week. The turquoise is top 3 positions in Google. The green is the rest of page 1 of Google. And actually down here, if I turn this on, the purple is page 2. So you can actually see, their theme on Shopify was actually starting to rank things, but they were ranking on page 2. And the only thing that changed from page 2 here to page 1 here is their on-page specificity and their URLs. And I think that's really telling that by going headless with the same products, we're able to outperform the competition significantly. And that's a huge paradigm shift. This is a huge outcome for them. And when you look at the fact that this is what's happened in the UK version of Google, and what I've got here is I've actually got the tracking for like a wide variety of the other versions of Google that they're in. So for example, in Norway, they're up 140%. In I think this is Sweden, up 237%. Across all sorts of different territories, they are up. And for me, I think this just speaks volumes about the international strategies that we've brought to bear and how that has been implemented. Because in order to go headless with Shopify, most people would be putting this onto a PWA or a progressive web app. And what we've actually done here is we have gone headless with Shopify, but we've put it into a WordPress. So the brochureware aspects of this website are actually all managed with WordPress. And we're feeding Shopify into WordPress and then merchandising in WordPress. So we're using the best possible e-commerce solution for driving the e-commerce. So managing customers and orders and that retargeting, remarketing, all things like, voucher codes, discount codes, the checkout process, that's all delivered by Shopify. But the actual merchandising of the products, the managing of the URLs, the way the marketing team is really enabled to use this website is all done in WordPress. So bringing together the best of both worlds, focusing in on those digital strategies to improve the URL structure, to target the right keywords, and to target how those keywords are going to align with the right products has been a game changer. So across 235 keywords that we're tracking, they are up for hundreds. 121 keywords have moved up, but actually those rankings, have been significant, across all of these different keywords. And that's really driving commercial results for them. So really delighted that what we've done for them is help them increase their market penetration, increase their conversion rate, really drive revenue through their e-commerce online store, and deliver something that we can all be super proud of. So from a design system perspective, from a URL management perspective and a digital strategy perspective, from going international, from going headless with Shopify, this is a great example of how it should be done. So delighted to be continuing to work with Cole & Son and looking forward to really continuing that partnership in delivering results.